chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys and movies and comics and wrestling and video games. Everything that's going on in the news, we're going to discuss it here. So this is a bit of a different format, but don't worry. If you're here just for the toy news, this whole video is broken down into chapters so you can skip forward to the action figure news. I want to cover more stuff on this channel, but I don't want to alienate the folks who are here for the what brought me to the dance, as we say in wrestling. So if you're just here for the action figures, you can skip on ahead. But first of all, we've got a lot to talk about in regards to the nerdy news that you need to know about, starting off with pro wrestling, my first love before action figures, and it's been a busy week. Two big stories to talk about. First of all, Shane McMahon made his triumphant return to the WWE at the Royal Rumble on Saturday, and 24 hours later, made his triumphant departure from the WWE. Turns out that he was brought in for a big program. They were going to use him right up to WrestleMania. He was going to appear at the Saudi show. He was going to appear at Mania itself in a big angle. But it seems like things just didn't work out in that small time that he was there. Apparently, the original idea was to have him feud with most likely Austin Theory, because Austin Theory is having this whole angle with Vince McMahon as his kind of father-type mentor. So it would make perfect sense to have Vince's real son come in and feud with his surrogate son. That could be kind of fun. But it turns out that Shane McMahon rubbed a lot of people the wrong way during his Royal Rumble appearance. Apparently he was given a role of a booker for the Rumble, which doesn't make a huge amount of sense that you're only just bringing him back and you're saying, oh yeah, tell all these people who have been here for the last 2 years when you've been absent how to do their jobs. That's not going to go too well. And apparently Shane did come in and he was like, right, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to beat you up, then I'm going to throw you over the top rope, then I'm going to go toe-to-toe with you being the best pure striker in the WWE that I am. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? I think a lot of people were like, geez, this guy. So they weren't too happy with him. And I think like the next day, Vince probably came to him and he was like, oh, son, it's just not working out. Only in the WWE could a father just walk up to his son and be like, son, you're fired. Gotta love it. So Shane McMahon is out. It was a one and done little story, but kind of an amusing one. Now, a less amusing story is Brian Kendrick asking for his release from WWE, being granted it, instantly signing for AEW, or at least signing for one match against Jon Moxley. What an incredible turnaround. And then I switch on Dynamite to watch it, and he's been replaced with Wheeler Yuta. What happened? Well, something happened about 10 years ago, and this is a really interesting, weird, difficult subject. And it's about cancel culture and saying the wrong things and having your past kind of catch up to you. So it turns out that in a shoot interview about 10 years ago, Brian Kendrick was talking about conspiracy theories, and he said things along the lines of, do we know that... I don't want to use the words because it might get this video demonetized or something. I'm not sure how YouTube works, but he's talking about the Second World War and the terrible things that happened and saying that there are conspiracies that maybe they weren't as bad as people made out. And understandably, that's not that's not cool. Like it's you really shouldn't. I was gonna say you can't, but in this world, you should be allowed to say whatever you want. But you gotta pay the consequences for it, or at least own it or apologize for it. And basically, yeah, he was about to make this big comeback in AEW and someone was like, care to explain these little comments you made 10 years ago? And AEW, to their credit, went, you know what, this could be a problem. We're going to take you off the show and replace you. And this is a real double-edged sword. No one's going to win in these arguments because I think a lot of people are saying, oh, it's cancel culture gone mad. Oh, no one's allowed to say anything. Thought police. And the other side are saying like, no, this dude said some really heinous stuff. He's got to be held accountable for it. And honestly, the only problem I have with cancel culture or cancelling people for things that they've said or behaviours from the past from 10 years ago is that there's no system for rehabilitation. You know, if you murder someone and you're convicted, then you go to prison, and when you're released, you're supposed to have a clean slate. I mean, yeah, it'll be on your record, but you're allowed to restart your life. Whereas a lot of things with cancel culture and stuff that people say, it's like, well, how do you ever come back from that? You can't go and serve a prison sentence and then come out and be like, I've done my time. It's just, am I forgiven yet? It's been 10 years. And honestly, if I was held accountable for some of the trash that I did 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't be allowed a YouTube show. I mean, nothing evil, just, just idiot's gonna idiot, But still, people learn and grow and hopefully become better people. And I hope that Brian Kendrick has learned and grown and become a better person. But I don't think it's fair to just cancel him outright and be like, nope, no more work for you. You're done. See ya. It's like, well, who are you to judge people? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone is all I'm saying. So yes, I think AEW were right to go, this could be a hot button contentious issue. Let's pull you off. Let's remove you from television, it's a better choice of words, until we can figure out what the situation is. But honestly, Brian Kendrick has already come out with a statement saying, I am so sorry for what I said, it was disgusting, I don't believe those things, I don't support that theory, and that was a long time ago, and it is what it is. And honestly, I think that he should be given a chance to kind of make amends. You can't be damned forever. But then again, maybe I just like to see the good in people. Maybe I'm naive, I don't know. But quite frankly, I think giving people a chance to be better people, that's model behavior, quite frankly. But what do you guys think? But actually, no, maybe don't tell me what you think. I don't want to hear what you have to think. But it's because I don't want to turn this channel into a big left versus right debate sort of thing, because that's not why we're here. We're here to have a good time talking with our buddies about action figures and fun stuff. But still, there was a story that I thought was worth talking about. But still, I just hope that people show forgiveness and people show repentance, and somewhere in the middle, we can all become better people, and hopefully, might get some cool wrestling matches out of it. Going over to movie news now, and Sony have announced a Madam Web film will be made starring Dakota, someone or other, I'm going to put her name below there, but she's from 50 Shades of Grey, so she's quite a prolific actress. She will be playing Madam Web in a Madam Web movie. Apparently. Yep, I'm calling it now. I will bet you anything from a little I Joe to a damned if I know, from dollars to donuts, that this film is not going to get made. Because this is Sony's MO. They've done it before a bajillion times. They will say, oh, we're going to make a movie with this Spider-Man character, and that Spider-Man character, and this one, and that one, and that one, and this one. They never do it. But they do it to give the impression to Disney that unless you give us a good deal with this whole Spider-Man thing, we're going to make our own cinematic universe. Alright? Even though we've seen Sony try that, and it was really bad. But still, if Sony give the impression that they're going to make these movies, remember the Black Cat movie? Remember the Sinister Six movie? No. Not the No Way Home Sinister Six movie. The actual Sinister Six movie they were talking about after Amazing Spider-Man 2. They're never going to make these films. It's just to give the impression to Disney that they plan to. So that Disney will acquiesce to some of their demands and go, okay, look, please don't make that trash. Just work with us, okay? I think that's honestly what's going to happen. So a lot of people are being like, this movie's stupid. Actually, two big misconceptions. A lot of people are being like, this movie's stupid. Why are they making a Madam Web movie? Well, they're not. And the second one is, why are they making a movie about an old lady in a chair? That's the classic version of Madam Web, but actually in the comics there is a younger Madam Web. She's a psychic, she's a precog, she used to be Spider-Woman, and now she's become the new Madam Web. That's totally the vision of Madam Web they're going for, if they make that movie, which I will still say is not going to happen. Honestly, if we are sat here in 2 years' time and I'm talking about the Madam Web movie review, I will buy a hat and eat it. And that's why I didn't say I will eat my hat, because I'm not going to eat my Decepticon hat. That's iconic. The only reason I'm not wearing it now is because I've got this nice little haircut that I want to actually make the most of. When the hair gets crazy long again, the Decepticon hat's coming back out. But still, that's kind of like, it's news because people are talking about it. But I'm calling it now that it's non-news. This movie ain't ever happening. And finally, for the pre-action figure news, in comic book news, Marvel have announced a new Savage Avengers lineup. And I just wanted to talk about this because I find Savage Avengers a really interesting title because mainly it uses interesting versions of the characters and it involves Conan as well. And Conan is a real unique property that is not a Marvel property. He's not a Marvel character. They licensed the right to use Conan and put him in this story. So it's a kind of a cool sort of company crossover in a way. And what's funny is you can't get... I first realized this was an issue when I went to look up Savage Avengers on Marvel Unlimited, and it's not there. And I was like, well, why is Savage Avengers not there? And then I realized it must be kind of like the marketing deal that they're not allowed to use Conan in other distribution type mediums, including Marvel Unlimited. But still, the new version of Savage Avengers is cool because it looks like an updated roster from the original, but different versions. So instead of Venom, we've got Anti-Venom. And this is an interesting one because Anti-Venom, Flash Thompson, he is in the comics, but the last time I saw him, he was Agent Anti-Venom. So I don't know how we're going to go from Agent Anti-Venom to the more Venom symbiote-looking Anti-Venom. That in itself is quite interesting. Then we've got Elektra, but it's the new version of Elektra, the Daredevil Elektra, which actually, that's a badass costume. I'd love to see a Marvel Legend of her. That looks really, really cool. Then also on the team, we've got Weapon H. And Weapon H is like, again, it's like a 6-year-old designing characters, but it's fun. It's the Hulk mixed with Wolverine. So it's this big, grey Hulk type character with huge Wolverine claws as well. Totally stupid, but a lot of fun. Then rounding out the team, we have Black Knight in a very cool looking updated version of his costume, and Cloak and Dagger, who I'll always have a little place in my heart for their involvement in Maximum Carnage in the 90s. So it's a fun, interesting team, and they're going to be going up apparently against Deathlock or a Deathlock. Throw in zombie cyborgs and I'm in. So Savage Avengers coming out in I think May. That should be a lot of fun. Whew! Alright, time for the action figures. Kicking things off for the action figure talk, Super 7 have been super busy announcing a whole bunch of new properties they're going to be covering. First of all, Bruce Lee. I am a huge Bruce Lee fan. Growing up as a kid, I adored Bruce as a character, as an icon. Got me into martial arts. I got my Kung Fu black belt when I was a lad because I was obsessed with Bruce Lee. And we're getting two different versions of Bruce Lee. We're getting the iconic yellow jumpsuit with the black piping from Game of Death. That looks awesome, so brightly colored. And if you're collecting the Tekken type characters, he could totally double in for martial law as well, because that's totally who the character is based off of. So many fighting game characters, Fei Long, Liu Kang, they're all Bruce Lee clones essentially. But yeah, that figure looks really great with the different heads, the head sculpts. Man, they look beautiful. They've really got the classic, first of all, like side-eye Bruce Lee. That's something McFarlane, you can do side-eyes when there's actually a legitimate reason. Bruce Lee giving the old side-eye, that's iconic. Then he's got his classic sort of, Wah! There's so many cool looks there. The different hands and the weapons, I adore that. And then you have super classic Bruce Lee, basically, which is just black pants Bruce Lee. And again, they look to have really gone all out to make this the ultimate, the clue's in the name, the ultimate Bruce Lee action figure. I love the look of these guys, and I cannot wait to see what they're actually like in hand. So these guys are up for pre-order now. They're going to be available around about late 2022, which is this year. I should just say this year. And they're going to be retailing for about $55, which is the standard price you would really expect for this kind of Super 7 figure. So look out for them. But that's not all from Super 7. They've also teased us. They've teased us with a Roger Rabbit line of figures. So we've just got one picture of this poor little boot being lowered into a vat of dip. Now, if you haven't seen Roger Rabbit, or more to the point, if you weren't a small child in the late 1980s who was traumatized by Roger Rabbit, go watch it now, because it is a masterpiece. Like literal, it's a masterpiece of filmmaking. I hope it's in that like reserved library of films that exists to be preserved for all time, because it was incredible. Before the days of CGI and whatnot, actually hand animating, hand drawing these cartoon characters into a movie, incredible. And the fact that it was Disney teaming up with Warner Brothers. You had Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny on screen at the same time interacting. Apparently it was in the contract that the characters had to have exactly the same number of words of dialogue, which is kind of fun. You had Daffy Duck and Donald Duck interacting and fighting with each other. It was amazing. And the fact that it was so dark, like it wasn't a goofy Space Jam type movie. It was legitimately made like a proper film noir detective murder mystery. Man, I gotta watch it again. I was just reminding myself how good it was. And Jessica Rabbit. So I'm imagining we're probably gonna get a Roger Rabbit and a Jessica, which would be awesome. I gotta say, I might actually be genuinely tempted to get those two. And then because of the picture with the black hand with the little shoe, that's got to be Judge Doom. So Christopher Lloyd, we're going to get another Christopher Lloyd action figure. We've got him as the lovable Doc from Back to the Future by NECA. Now we're going to have him as the terrifying, nightmare-inducing Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'm sure he's going to have a normal head and then a terrifying cartoon head, which is still the stuff of nightmares. But oh my goodness, we don't know anything else about this line. We've just had the preview image, but Super 7, they might be making some real gold this year. Four Horsemen are giving us a re-release of their Krampus figure, but with a few changes, with a full-on bright red and green Christmas kind of paint job motif, and I don't know how I feel about this actually. I didn't get the original Krampus, and I would have loved to have got the original Krampus. I'm a little bit gutted that I missed out on that one, but you can't buy them all. And this second one, I do like the fact that they've mixed it up and gone full Christmas style, but it looks a little bit too garish for me. I think if I do pick up a Krampus, I'll have to go for the classic one if I can find him somewhere. But nonetheless, the fact that they are giving people another chance and they are zhuzhing it up and making it a bit different, he looks a lot of fun. So this figure is up for pre-order on the Four Horsemen website, and it's going to be available to order, as pre-orders often are, until the start of June, I think June 3rd. And then they should be shipping out and arriving on your doorstep just in time for Christmas. So you better have been nice. Hasbro have revealed their new Black Series Boba Fett figure. It's difficult to say, the F's and the TH's. Boba Fett figure. Actually, there are no THs. Oh, because it's the Tython version. The Tython version of Boba Fett in the Black Series. There you go, did it. And he's going to be a deluxe figure. And I think a lot of people there's a little bit of rumbling and grumbling that maybe he doesn't deserve a black figure, like he's not getting enough things coming with him. I'm not a Black Series expert, so I can't say like, oh, well, this is just a different version of the same figure that we've already bought for this price and blah, blah, blah. I can just say from like, I've heard the zeitgeist that people are like, not too sure about this. I think he looks like a nice figure. This was when we first saw Boba Fett back in his Boba Fett armor. So it's the beat up armor with the Tusken robes underneath. Honestly, I didn't feel like that was a good look for Boba Fett. It's like when you see one of these old wrestlers who you were a huge fan of in the 80s coming out of retirement, and it's like, geez, maybe my memories were better. Maybe, leave the memories alone. It's a shame that Boba Fett will never be as cool as that guy hanging out in Jabba's palace in Jedi. And then, it is what it is. Time makes fools of us all. I mean, I don't need time to do that. I make a fool of myself on a daily basis. But still, if you like the look of this guy, if you don't mind paying deluxe prices, then he's going to be out, I think, around about this time next year. Boss Fight Studio new 5-inch retro feel Power Stars action figures. These guys are set to release around about the fall of this year, going to be retailing for about $20. You can see I'm not going hugely into the details because I don't know that much about these guys. Boss Fight Studios are quite popular, so you can order them from their website. And I think if you like that kind of really retro, really classic kind of late 1970s, 1980s action figure kind of feel, that's exactly what these are based on. It looks like we got characters from Flash Gordon, Defenders of the Earth. These are fun to mention. I mean, there's definitely a big audience for them, but I don't know enough about them to get excited about them. And quite frankly, if I'm not excited, I'm not going to cover it for long. Numbskull have shown images of their Resident Evil Tyrant Statue. Now, there's not much more information on this, such as price, release date. That seems to be up in the air, at least from the websites that I've looked at, mainly Toy Arc, unless they've updated it recently. But still, I love Resident Evil. I know it's mainly action figures, but I love to show off the occasional statue because this just looks cool. When can we get a new line of Resident Evil figures? Please! Super 7, Storm Collectibles, you name it. Just give me some real great 1/12 scale, highly articulated, loads of accessories, Resident Evil action figures. I'll buy the bejesus out of them. In the meantime, I'll settle for this statue, which apparently at 11 inches tall, it's going to look pretty big and mean on your shelf. I love the look of this guy. The experience of playing Resident Evil for the first time in 1998 as a kid, absolutely terrifying, so much fun, and the nostalgia is strong with this one. And this guy, he looks really cool. Mezco have shown images of their new Godzilla Hedorah 5-point set, and this looks super fun. I love classic goofy Godzilla, and this is classic goofy Godzilla. And I'm not saying goofy in a mean way, like, they're great. It's just the good old man in suit. It just has this kitsch, camp, fun value. Now the 5-point ones, they're much smaller scale. It's like 3.75-inch scale, and not with the crazy articulation, but they're just fun pieces. They did their big Universal Monsters type piece a while ago, and this one, if you're a Godzilla fan, it looks really great. And it's a cheaper kind of one to go for as well. This set is going to be $65 apparently, and releasing around about the autumn of this year. So yeah, look out for it. If you're a Godzilla fan, I think this one's going to do you really proud. For me, man in suit, that's always going to get my attention. Hasbro's Fortnite Victory Royale 6-inch Deluxe Man Cake figure. Wow, Fortnite continues to be the bizarre, insane fever dream that I found it to be with this man cake figure. I love reporting on these because I love the artistry and the creativity of these action figures. I don't want to collect them because I don't get it. I've admitted that already. I don't get Fortnite. What I'm with isn't it, and what's it is strange and scary to me. And strange and scary is this man cake figure, which does look like some weird fever dream. It looks like one of those creepy cream pie creations that attacked Watson in the young Sherlock Holmes movie. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Again, another bit of scarring from my childhood up there with Roger Rabbit. Anyway, this looks like fun, bizarre, crazy, kind of awesome. So if you're into your Hasbro Fortnite figures, well, this one's for you. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. I hope you didn't mind the new format. If you wanted to watch the action figure stuff, you got the chapters there to jump straight to it. Hopefully the pre-action figure stuff isn't too much of a distraction. I just want to cover the things that I'm interested in. So what did you think about the various topics, news and reveals and releases? Comment below, let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond, you can do by going over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. You can throw a few shekels my way, watch a whole bunch of exclusive videos on there, or if you subscribe to different tiers, you can nominate what the next As Told by Toy Story is going to be. That's a fun little feature I've thrown in there now. So folks, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.